Okay, it's that time of month again where I will be doing gratitude list, or at least try to make consistent. Well, this is for January 2025. Let's get her done. Okay, let's see what's on this one. All right, this was January 6th. I was talking to a friend about um some personal friendship stuff, and we were laughing about some unhinged behavior that it felt really normal after being so frustrated, and kind of releasing a lot of tension I was having at that time. I was talking to my mentor about life and the issues with work and shit. It's really nice about that. Let's see this one. I was reaching out to people in Cali due to the LA fires, and I was really grateful that they were safe and they were able to get back to me. Apparently, one has moved to Alaska. I put in my PTO for vacation in February, and it got approved by my at least three different bosses now. I thanked my friend who said they would be able to pick me up when I go visit them from the airport, which is about an hour and a half away from them. So that's really grateful. I thought I was gonna have to get a car and do all this extra stuff, but the fact that they were willing to go out of their way to do this meant a lot to me. Uh, I had one friend that was helping me with planning a date for someone that has never, oh, that's not gone on dates in a really long time, and we were kind of sharing the same brain cell of we would go out and dress up as waiters or something on the event, and we would spy on the friend. But they didn't. They did. The person that was going. They did not. They would not appreciate that. Even though it'd be funny as hell. We even have like a little fake mustache. Oh, I got remaining coin to buy an audiobook. I usually do a walking app called Cashwalk, and if I get enough coins, I can get like a $5 thing to Amazon or Play Store and stuff like that. I was glad I actually walked my way, keeping consistent with my exercise. Let's see, my PMR went really well. It was only slotted for an hour, but we went with an hour and a half because I was able to ask questions and actually really get to talk to my boss at a level that I didn't think I would be able to. And it kind of really made me respect of who he is and understand where he was coming from. Because I was low key pissed about it, but I was glad I was able to have that conversation. Hosted my friend and their puppy. We played games and caught up. Haven't seen them in a while, so I was really grateful they were able to do those. I did a meal prep, a game night, and it was really fun just because they were able to help me cook some stuff and I was able to host them, and the food turned out well. So it's the best of both worlds. We played up a concept and yeah, we played concept. I was able to drive one of my friends back home. He was feeling very anxious after he left, and I allowed him to crash. But then he was like, "Oh no, I should be fine." But I ended up just following him back to his place to make sure he got there safely. All right. I was able to work out in the mornings and tread on the treadmill and bike at work. I do that consistently. Gut voicing from gut voice from coworker. God voice from coworker. I have no idea what that means. I did a coaching call, probably for exercise and stuff. Um, I talked to a few people and I got, I talked to a few people and got help, asked help with some Naruto debate. I don't remember that one. Let's see. I was able to call back my bank to get help with a car payment because I was really neglecting that and being very anxious because I saw a bigger payment than I was not agreed to do, and thankfully I was able to talk to my advisor and be able to call my bank and get that sorted out. Mm. You know, I went on a call with an old college friend who was apparently doing like a kind of a Zoom interview thing for a position they got as an executive position. And I saw the post on Facebook and I was like, okay. I was like, I wasn't sure if it was the day or the next day. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me see. Like, I'll hop on. So I ended up hopping on, and there was like maybe five or six people, and I was like excited for them because I saw them in college, and wouldn't say we were close, but we knew of each other, and definitely had a few conversations in passing, and it was kind of just very funny because like I put something in a comment and I saw them look at it and like smirk about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I see you looking at my comment. But then we ended up actually having like a good half hour conversation right afterward. And it was just like honestly just catching up, hearing how they got over there, hearing how they lived in Alaska for a bit. And it was just a very fun and wholesome kind of thing that happened. Um, it was just kind of very nice to like connect, even though I never thought it would be that deep or that they even remembered me. But I was glad I had made the choice to actually go in and actually talk to them. Mm, um, oh, I asked my boss about work status for our new group because they're currently hybrid, and I was like, "Am I currently still going to be hybrid, or can I be remote?" Because my team is majority of them are out of state somewhere, and they were saying they're like, "Yeah, we're going to still be hybrid and stuff like that." Unfortunately, our current company has been saying that we're going to be returning to the office in early June, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But I was grateful to be able to ask that kind of upfront question. Uh, let's see. I went to a comedy show. I signed for I went to comedy. I didn't follow through on that. Um, I got help with my timesheet um, and set up tax prep day. Got my taxes done for the end of January. So I was really proud about that and got a decent return. Um, um, I was able to reach out a friend for help because I haven't heard someone and they live with them or they live in the same place as them. Um, I read a message from a friend I had for a really long time, and and I accepted the kind of the end of the friendship. And one thing I was grateful is that I didn't spiral because of it, even though it still sucks to think about and read. This was back in January 3rd. Um, and I think the best, like, I guess the worst or best thing about it is like there was some kind of level of maturity to it, I guess, where the not spiraling or ruminating on it was the biggest thing for me. And I was like, I'm pissed about some other stuff that happened, but more so, I'm glad my reaction to it wasn't at a detriment to my health. That was a big part of it. The next day, I went to my boxing class, intro class. I died, but I didn't die. But it was definitely stressful. We only had like 30 minutes of that just for the prep. It's an hour long class. Um, I was talking to one friend about life and shit and shared some stuff unprompted rather than waiting to be asked about it. And on that day as well, I made it to 10K despite starting really late. Jeez, there's so much more. How much did I write? Okay, only about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. What would it be? Bam. The 11th. Oh, I was a city judge for volunteering on the weekend. I took lead with the questions and the timer, and because we only had like a certain amount of time to interview the students, have them do the presentation, as well as us ask questions and then do the grading of the things. And like no one was talking. There was like a good like 5 or 6 judges, and like no one was talking, and some of them been there before. So I was like, ugh, bro, like let's kind of hurry this up because I want to hear the presentations and kind of just and take that lead position. And so I was able to ask them questions, let them know the time, and my humor was magnifique on that day. Just the banter. It's just amazing when I'm good and I'm just in the moment. I talked to one of the judges about it. He's a consulting guy, and I got contact him information about being a consultant in general. And I still have to reach out and talk to him again about that. Oh no, I think I did that wrong. Yeah. Also went to a gym to just do some workout and stuff. Um, okay, that was it for that one. We're at 15 minutes. Jesus. It's taking forever. I didn't write it down this, but I invited people to go to a speakeasy, but it's like a poetry speakeasy thing. And, but people were busy, and I invited like a good, like, 5 or 6 people. But I was like, but then I was like, oh, this is too tiring. Like, let me stop doing this. Um, and like one thing I really liked about it because I actually was able to talk about like the thing was of how the theme of that night was how we met, and that was my first time talking on stage, open mic, and it was about a friend years ago of how we met on an app and started a really good friendship that did mean a lot to me, and it was kind of a very big life changing moment to happen because of how we interacted, dealing with coping mechanisms and a bunch of stuff during COVID, and still being able to create a deeper sense of a friendship that I didn't think it was possible at that time. So I was really grateful to have them in my life and learn about them and their culture and stuff like that. I was able to talk to 2 of my coworkers at work, still very candid for a while. Had a good one-on-one with my new boss, and had an open talk with a friend that came back in my life, and especially because they went MIA for a bit during the convo. And it was being able to have a good, candid conversation. It was like, hey, like, what happened? I'm paraphrasing for all this stuff right there. And to listen to them, stuff like that. I was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. But then I also let them know like how frustrating it was for them, for me, for them to do that, especially coming back. And I wasn't mad about that or stuff, but it was more so the feeling that it created in the friendship that was starting again. That it was like, hey, this is how this made me feel, and I would like you not to do that, or at least let me know if you're going to do that next time. Just as a way of communication. Like I know I've gone ghost on friends, and I also accept it back usually, but the ability to have the actual conversation and bring it up rather than just saying like, "Oh, I guess that's just how it is," I thought was much much more healthier in a way that it's like showing that I cared and that we haven't talked in a while or interacted in a way that was constructive, and not being like, and not having to be like, oh, but you do this and stuff like that. I was like, sure, yes, but there was no conversation on your end to actually bring it up, especially if it was an issue for you. And being able to have a serious one-on-one confrontation discussion about what happened was so much more productive and healthier in my mind than just being like, oh, it is what it is, and just never addressing it. Uh, it's like having skin in the game and being able to willing to have it. Raw. Um, I was on Facebook Marketplace and got um, a car holder thing for my phone, and it wasn't working properly. So it was like $5. So it wasn't like I was gonna like be out of a bunch of money, but I was able to ask the person that sold to me. I was like, "Hey, I need some help with this," and then we were able to kind of just have a talk conversation about what was going on with it, and he was able to help me and fix it rather than being like, "Oh, this guy's shady. He sold me a crappy product." He was willing to help, and I think a really good benefit of that is that people do want to help, even if it's not always on the best of circumstances. And also, we ended up talking about him, his family, and like he had just had a baby too. It was just a really nice conversation. Um, there was a fun game night, and we talked and shared a lot. I don't know when or where that was, but it might have been. I think it might have been at one person that got just hosted, and they just got engaged. It was a really good fun game night. Um, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, it was that one. All right, I invited one of the people I played volleyball with to one of the game nights, and they came really really late, and it wasn't their fault. They were working that night, but I stayed long enough for the vibes. It was a really good fun night, but it was just a very long night. I stayed like an extra like hour or so because I was like, okay, it might rain or it might snow that day, so that night, but ended up not doing it because Ohio weather is crazy. But it was just a really good time because like that was the first time hanging out with us in non-volleyball fashion, and they would have been fine. But I was like, okay, I kind of want to leave though. Oh, this was the 8th testing day. I was asking one of my reps for a delay in testing because I was running late And I was like, I don't want to rush to work. I was like, so I just texted them like, hey, can you just tell them I'll be there like maybe 8:45, 9 and stuff like that? Because usually this testing starts like 8:30 or so. But I was like, I'm not feeling too well. Like I need a delay. And he was thankfully able to do that. Um, I asked my mentor about an insight about an issue my boss brought up, and he was able to actually give me a good talk honestly about that. Um, I asked about my I asked my boss about working at a different building when we converted to new buildings, so can keep my commute under like a good 20 minutes or so. The new building we're supposed to go to is supposed to be farther out. I'm like, bro, I don't want to drive that far. It's the last one. Um, hmm, I treated myself after reaching my step goal. I think it was like to like some candy or some breakfast or stuff. But something else, I didn't delay it so long that I forgot about it. Um, I did resting, staying up to game like till all hours of the night. I was actually thinking about my sleep schedule. Um, I had a candid conversation with one of my coworkers about salary and family stuff. Like, I think he was annoyed that because he wasn't making as much as someone else who, even though he does much more work, but it might just been like seniority stuff and stuff like that with a big company. And my last one is being less afraid to be seen and heard. And I think it's just more about using my voice and stuff and willing to have more conversations and stuff like that, and being seen as visibly goofy and existing rather than being self-conscious about it all, because it's life. It is what it is. Let's look for fortune. This is a year ingenuity stands high on the list. So I'm really grateful I wrote all this stuff down because I honestly forgot some of it, and retelling it was actually a really fun thing. Ugh, this was like 25 minutes. Jeez. Well, it is now Monday at 4:17 a.m. So I will have to start writing my new stuff for February. And hopefully it will be as bountiful and plentiful as it was for this trial month of 2025. Anyway, peace out. There's other stuff, but I honestly forgot what it was. Overall, I'm kind of really glad that it was a good month. Bye.